Hello, good morning everybody. Welcome to my channel here. I am in my little cubby hole here in my house, and I'm loving this space. This is my new space where I'm going to talk to you every day. Which is a lie, because I talk from many places in my place. And I'm always traveling, so the environment is always changing around me. Everything is always changing around me. So what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about this thing which I don't really know very much about, because I've just coming to realize it in the last, I don't know, week or so or something. And it's called the Mandela effect. And it's been going on apparently since 2015. So what do I know about it? Well, let me just tell you right now that I don't know, I think it's a very, very positive thing. Now, it's like, there's a lot of theories about what this is, but certainly I'm experiencing certain things which blow my mind, yeah? Simply blow my mind, because, you know, I believe for me, you know, my mind is opening, and my mind is open, and I don't like this ego stuff and being around people who think they're better than other people, and, you know, all that stuff. You know, so anyway, so this human drama is kind of, if you follow me, is like not existent. Like, it just doesn't exist, because because it's all like made up, and people are like against each other, and who has the right, this and that. That is so old for me. So I think, like, as I grow in my consciousness is open, like my awareness, and so some things in my experience teach me that there's no such thing as reality, or show me that there's no such thing as reality. And like recently, like, this is so, let me go to the Mandela effect. And I'm super excited because, you know, what is so interesting too is that we change all the time, and I'm always different every day. Like, I realize that as I watch my talks, like, yes, I do watch my talk sometimes to see the difference in myself and my moods and my swings, and because I'm here being authentic, and sometimes I'm really like hyper and excited, and sometimes I'm really low energy, and I love that, because it's like, you know, this is a human being, and however you label it, however you're gonna label it, I don't know, it's just like, it's your prerogative, it's your perception, it's how you're gonna label it, and how, like, life is supposed to be all on the same there's high and lows, so the high and lows are here. So I'm gonna get to the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is, I will read something which, you know, I'm just searching on the internet, and I want to read something to you, because if you haven't come into contact to realize this, maybe you have to be on the internet to know it, or it's not in the news. It's certainly not going to be in the nightly news, and if it's going to be in the nightly news, they're most likely going to make fun of it, you know, kind of thing. So, because it is really not logical. It doesn't seem logical, because everything that we've learned is logical. Like, we're supposed to, like, things are logical. Like, well, you know, if you think about reincarnation, which I mentioned a little bit yesterday on a post or something, like, that reincarnation, I believe, there's so much evidence, because there are children that are actually born into this world who speak foreign languages, who've never been exposed to it. This is proof. This is very proof, and they have past life experiences that they're for sure about. These children had never been, even some of them never been exposed to television, or exposed to even, they were homeschooled or something like that. So they're not influenced by other things. Anyway, so past lives are very, very, in some cultures, are part of their culture, and they really believe in reincarnation. But in our culture in the West, we're like, you know, that's just stupid and dumb, because, you know, and everything else is how can you say, I don't know, is like, we have to, science is like king and everything, and if you can't prove it, then it's not real or something. So anyway, here I am again about the Mandela effect. Now, the Mandela effect, I'll just read something, and not just randomly. There's an unexplained phenomenon that you'll probably experience without knowing what it's called. And it's garnering more and more attention lately. The Mandela effect is what the internet is calling those curious instances in which many of us are certain we remember something a particular way, but it turns out we're incorrect, okay? like, you know, okay, okay, well, let me just finish. I'm really hyper today, I'm going with this, and I hope I can affect you with the joy of just life in general. The name of the theory comes from many people feeling certain they could remember Nelson Mandela dying while he was still in prison back in the 80s. Contrary to what many thought, Mandela's actual death was on December 5, 2013, despite some people's claiming to remember seeing clips of his funeral on TV. Now, I actually did some research for myself, and I did see some clips of a funeral. The casket wasn't open, all these kind of things. So, you know, we can agree to disagree about certain things, but some people definitely have enough to stir this huge emotion, or, this huge movement, or it's not even a movement, a realization that there is perhaps suggestion of parallel universes. Now, so that's all up to you, and it's all how you see it, you know. My mind is so open that I just, like, down here on Earth and all of this stuff, the drama that makes us, you know, that we have been conditioned in every sense of the word, and, you know, like, we've learned facts and learned all this stuff. Now, we have been brainwashed in a sense to think that our history is our history. You know, like, just the simple fact that, you know, Columbus did not discover America. Like, he found it, but there were, you know, there were Indians, you know, like, there were people living on on the continent, and anyway, so that's the whole lie of history, and we just continue to go on with that. It's the same thing as Australia and the Aborigines and all of this stuff. You know, it's that this white man came and he took over and said that he discovered it to get, you know, if that's not about the ego, I don't know what is. Anyway, so I'm skipping around, so that's what I know, like, a little bit. Okay, so it goes on to say these false memories have some people thinking their memory sucks, but some wonder if they've gone to a parallel universe, or if time travels have gone to the past and slightly affected our present, or if they're simply losing their freaking minds. Whichever it is, what's most interesting about the Mandela effect is that so many individuals share the same false memories. Okay, so, like, I'm gonna go to one that really stumped me, and this, you know, I understand something also. It's about demographics. So, you know, it's like the I don't know, it could be it affects the English, like, well, the English, or for me because it's my culture, but some things have been really profoundly just weird, and you know, like, the song that I used to sing when I was a little boy, and I grew up on Mr. Rogers, like Mr. Rogers, okay, and this is really a simple thing, but where is it? Mr. Rogers, he used to sing this, and I sung it every day as a child, as, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, it's a beautiful day in the it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, it's a beautiful day for a neighbor, won't you be mine? Now, everything that you search on the internet is a beautiful day in this neighborhood. And I never ever heard that in my whole life. Now, that's just a simple thing, but a lot of people remember that. And even you can find, like, you know, what is happening is that there is suggestion of parallel universes. And I'm open-minded, and if you're not, you can click off right now. And, like, but at least it's interesting to ponder, you know, instead of accepting, you know, that life is dire and life is, you know, this horrible thing, and that, you know, like, hell is about to break. Well, hell is here, and heaven's here, and it's how you choose to think about it. Open your mind a little bit. So, that was there. Something else is, if you've seen The Silence of the Lambs, you know that the most famous line is, "Hello, Clarice. Hello, Clarice." That, for me, was what it was. And I watched that movie so many times. The only problem is that never happened in the movie. And when Clarice first meets Hannibal Lecter, he simply says, "Good morning, Clarice." Now, now, a lot of us know the fact that The Silence of the Lambs, I don't know, it was a profound movie. It's horror, you know, it's horrible. So if you like those kind of movies, well, I really love that kind of movie, you know, because it's just, like, thrilling and fun. But that is, my light is blinking here. I never seem to charge my battery in the right way because I don't. Anyway, so he says that, good morning, and that's it. How is the film's most well-known line non-existent? Nobody knows, and it's eating away at people. Okay, there's another thing with the Mandela effect, which is really, really huge, is the Queen of Snow White never said, mirror, mirror on the wall. Now, this is crock of shit, because, for me, because it says that she said, magic mirror on the wall. Now, that's just like, for me, like an absolute, I had to stand back and go, no. And there's so much evidence and so many people and so many things after that was mirror, mirror on the wall. And it says in the original that it was magic mirror on the wall. Now, what do you think? You know, and everything that you search basically today, and hopefully there's evidence that mirror, mirror on the wall was written in Snow White. Was in fact that, but it says, now it says in all the films and clips, which is also an interesting thing, is like, it says magic mirror on the wall. Now, what else? Fruit Loops cereal. I grew up in America, and one of my favorite cereals were Fruit Loops. Now, the original spelling I thought was fruit, as F-R-U-I-T, L-L-O-P-S, but they say that it's fruit, F-R-O-O-T-L-O-O-P-S. Now, some of this is debatable, for sure, because maybe, you know, people, but, you know, and Captain Crunch. I grew up with it being Captain Crunch, and now it's Cap'n, C-A-P-N, Crunch. You know, and like, another thing is, I read last night, and there's an abundance of information or suggestion of the Mandela effect online, and you can see it on YouTube, and there's so many people doing investigations, and I'm loving it, and I'm really find it as a hobby now, because I don't know, something's very interesting happening, and if it's not, this is a phenomenal faking thing. But I don't believe that. I believe that there's no such thing as reality, and that we are more than we've been told, and we're just brainwashed and conditioned to be our lowest frequency. You are vibrations, my friends, and these things are happening in my experience, so I like to go because I believe it's extremely positive, and I think that there is hope. You know, that there's hope and not this whole world comparison, competition, and being the best and all this stuff like that. We need to come together and be like loving each other and sharing our sharing these experiences with each other and being open. A lot of people think this would be a crazy thing, that I'm crazy, but that's okay. You know, it's like, for me, it definitely opens my mind. It continues to open my mind because I have an open mind and I'm not afraid. And fear is becoming less and less. So, yes, sometimes no, because the condition is so strong. The condition is so strong. It is really strong. Anyway, my light is blinking. I want to be able to say goodbye to you and thank you so much for this day. Maybe I'll have more about the Mandela effect, but I just want to say to you that I love you so much, and that I don't think that any of this is like, it's all up to you and your prerogative to think how you want to think. But for me, I think it's a very beautiful thing. Just an absolute incredible thing. And one more thing, Interview with the Vampire isn't called Interview with a Vampire. It's called Interview with the Vampire, isn't called Interview with a Vampire. How do you remember the title? It's actually Interview with the Vampire. Despite the fact that entering Interview with into Google shows Interview with a Vampire at the top of the search, because most people remember that being the title. I don't know. Search for yourself and just realize. One more thing, a huge one is life isn't like a box of chocolates, he said, and it seems that the majority of people confidently remember Forrest Gump stating that his mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates. I remember that. Oh my god, so it cut off like it does, it cuts off. So, anyway, I just didn't want to leave you hanging with that, but I'm just here, just to say, let me go back, this is the last one, and I'll leave you for today. Life isn't like a box of chocolates. That's what, in Forrest Gump, it seems that the majority of people confidently remember Forrest Gump stating that his mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates. Well, it turns out that he actually said in the movie, get this, life was like a box of chocolates. Despite what you've may felt, you distinctly remember. I remember life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Well, wow, that is just... so anyway, there are so many things. There are products that are changing. Like Morton, was it Morton salt or was it Morton's apostrophe S salt? Sweet Dreams in Annie Lennox song. Sweet Dreams are made of these. My boyfriend remembers these. I don't remember these. I remember this. And maybe it's because of her accent. Some things are debatable. And maybe perhaps, it's just that there's... The thing about the Mandela effect is that there are a lot of people who are remembering something else. So there is either it's a big scam, which it's your prerogative. It's skeptical. You can be extremely skeptical, and I suggest that because our world is this way. But I don't know. I just don't believe it. And call me crazy, call me not crazy. At least I love, and my imagination is open. And I would prefer to spend my time in my awareness and to choose how I want to live my life instead of some kind of dogma and that I have to follow some kind of scientific proof about everything, which goes to reincarnation or past life experiences that are unexplained and something like deja vu and coincidence. So I've spoken about that. There is no such thing as coincidence. Serendipity is happening all around me. And I can tell you stories, but maybe in time I will, but I'm here to share that. So I've got to put this together, and then I've got to go out and work today. But anyway, I love you so much. Love is everything, and open your mind and just entertain it. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.